Hello and welcome to Wishlist Roulette episode 6. This is a recap episode for Urban Myth Dissolution Center. I have the demo of it running in the background. I'm just going to scroll through some of the text as I talk. You may be asking why do I have the demo up here? It's because I actually ended up refunding it. You can play through a large chunk of the first case in the game in the demo, and then just a little tip, you can easily play through the rest of that within 2 hours and therefore be eligible for Steam refund. So if you want to know, trying to figure out if you're going to like the game or not, that's a great way to do it. Play the demo and then you can finish the first case by buying the game, and then if you don't like it, you can refund it. If you are into it, you just keep it, obviously. It is a neat game. I hate to say I refunded it. Obviously, if you're looking at it, it's a very, very striking game graphically. This great pixel style, these really great looking full pixel portrait heads for talking instead of like an anime style for talking. And then you get the great pixel models that you can actually walk around and control and talk to people. Really great style. And there's also pixel cutscenes, which are amazing. We might even see one in a minute, actually. Hopefully not too much spoilers here for the first case. It's a game, it's almost a visual novel, but you can walk around during some segments and investigate stuff. And you can scroll through social media and find clues that way as well. So there are interactive things you can do beyond just talking to people. Yeah, I think we're about to see one of these great cutscenes, let's say. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is like these pixel cutscenes. You know, just that brief little thing. The scariest thing in this game by far is the scared character portraits, like her portrait right now, scared like that. When that happens, it really is horrifying. And some of the other characters have portraits like this too, of them being like scared out of their mind, and yeah, it's really scary. The reason I refunded it, so the setup to the game, the first case is actually pretty cool. Some of the ending of it is not that great in a way. It's very interesting while you're playing it though. So I did enjoy the first case. Yeah, there you go. Comes back in, her room's covered in blood and she's horrified. It's really scary. Her portrait. And I think that's the end of the demo, so this is just a little like preview of the rest of the game. Yeah, the setup for the game I didn't totally like. Didn't really make sense. I know there's some twists to this game, so maybe they make sense in the end, and maybe it not making sense at first is like a good thing in a certain sense. Maybe that means you're paying attention and you're going to get the twist later or something like that. I just found myself I didn't like the setup. The first case I kind of liked, but the ending was not the best. And then there's like a meta story that kind of comes into play after the first case, and I didn't not vibing with that either. And then also the second case, I was like, I'm not really interested in that either. So just a lot of strikes. The game was almost $20 and slightly tight on funds these days. So not that I can't afford it, but I don't want to throw away $20 if I'm not totally feeling something. And I was under 2 hours on the main game, which was my plan. I was like, I bet I can finish this first episode under 2 hours and then think about a refund if I'm not totally feeling it. And just so many, all those different issues of why I wasn't feeling it. I was like, I think I'm going to refund it and move on to something else. Spend that $20 on something else that I'll have more fun with. It's tough though, because this is definitely not a bad game. It is a little handholdy, like you can explore a little bit, but you really are directed on what to do a lot. Especially, I guess, especially in the first episode, it's probably teaching you. Maybe the other episodes are less like that, but. And then there was a part where it started winning me back towards the end of the first episode where you're scrolling social media looking for clues, and it really was kind of independent, and I found stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm doing something here. The end of the case, and I'm assuming every case is kind of cool, where you do this dissolution phase where you sort of figure out all the elements of the situation. It's about an agency that investigates like urban myths, basically. I should have said that from the beginning. So, supernatural urban myths, and you kind of figure them out. Your character has some psychic powers where she can see like where people were in the past. You can go to the scene of the situation and use your powers, which you activate by pressing a button, which is pretty cool. And then you suddenly see, you can no longer talk to like the live people there, but you can see shadows of like what happened in that room in the past, which is cool. And you can go look at the shadows, examine them, try to figure out what the shadows are doing. Yeah, it's a cool game. If I vibed with a couple more elements of it, I would have kept playing it, and I suspect a lot of people will like it a lot. So I'd hate to diss it in a way, but I am going to move on to something else. But it was cool. I enjoyed it, and it has a similar thing to like if you played Tangle Tower, where you like construct these sentences to solve parts of the crime or situation. It has that in it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, another thing is like maybe I would have liked this if I haven't played some other games, but like Tangle Tower I played recently, and Doki Doki Literature Club I played recently, and those are both like S-class visual novel. Like Doki Doki is the visual novel side, Tangle Tower is like the detective game side. Those are both like almost perfect games, and may have ruined some other games, like having even a couple flaws. You're just like, oh, it's not as good as the almost perfection of these other games I played. That may have come into it, but yeah, cool game. I played the first episode. I'm glad I played the first episode. I enjoyed it. It was a fun part of the game to play, but yeah, I just found myself not interested in continuing. At least not too interested. I did start the second case, and I was like, yeah, I'm not into this. But then I got to the social media part, and I did scroll through that. And that part was okay. They almost won me back, but I was like, I'm not going to do it. The social media, it is hilarious because you, like when you're driving in the car to the next location, you scroll social media and find all these clues. That actually is how police work works these days too. They find a lot of clues on social media. So that's funny, but the way it works is like you can scroll through a couple posts and you're trying to find keywords that you can then search to find more posts, and then you find clues within those things. And then when you're on scene, you like both in the social media and when you're on a scene, it tells you how many clues you need to find to like continue, and you start finding stuff around the room, at the scene, or you'll see some like logic questions pop up, and you can, once you know enough stuff, you can click on them and construct a sentence. Like in Tangle Tower, like it'll be a sentence with a bunch of blanks in it, and you fill in the blanks with choices to get a clue by figuring something out, basically, just like Tangle Tower. So yeah, cool game, very enjoyable, very striking looking, but I just wanted to move on to something else. So that's the third game I believe we've played in this series, and I'll be rolling for another game shortly. Hope to see you then. Thanks. Bye.